Okay, welcome. This is the private chess class for Michael Schwartzman. So we're going to do some puzzles and go over some of his games, his King's Gambit games. Let's see here. So this is white. No, sorry, this is black to move. So we're looking at, from black's perspective, this is the 8th rank and the 7th rank, right? So let's go back a few moves. So, okay. Okay, so interesting. Rook and knight endgame here. All right. Wow. What an endgame, huh? Okay. So what do you think here? Black to move?
Black to move.
Yeah.
Well, it would be great if you could fork, the king with a check and take that rook.
Good,
Right.
good. So the rook, you notice, is unprotected.
Yeah.
That's a good thing to notice. Also, this pawn is only 2 squares away from promotion, right? So that's
Right.
very
And
significant.
the first move is protected.
Yeah, so knight covers c2, but also the rook covers c2. So what do you think?
So I think my first move would be to advance the pawn.
Yeah, so c2, and then yeah, of
Yeah,
course he can
because if he,
sacrifice.
yeah,
Yeah, he can
if he,
sacrifice. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Sorry.
no, if the reason I would do that is he can't, he can't check you as long as your knight is at G4.
Right, he can't do a check to come back to the first rank because the knight protects e5. So if you go c2, what if he goes rook c5? Now what are you gonna do?
On the second move,
Yeah, yeah. So now it's black's move. Yeah.
that's fine. Then I would move my knight to E3.
Knight to e3. Okay. Oh, protecting the pawn again.
Yeah.
Um. Hmm. All right.
And then
I think there's a, I think there's a, yeah, go ahead.
my next move would be rook to B1.
Yeah, so rook b1 check is a strong move because you are controlling the promotion score and delivering a check at the same time. So the way I look at it, if you go c2, and then rook c5, you can do that now. Rook b1 check, and then he forced to move to g2, and then you promote with a
Oh yeah,
queen.
and then you fork them.
Yeah, and well, then he's got to sacrifice his rook for the queen. Rook takes, and now you're just a rook up.
No, I guess what I was saying was if your first move is your black to move, if your first move is rook, well, he doesn't need to move there though.
So wait, what were you thinking about?
Your first move was rook to B1.
Okay, rook b1 check,
Yeah.
and white has only one move, which is king g2. Good. And now what?
Yeah, and then your next move is knight uh to e3.
Right, knight e3 is a fork. Right, so that's pretty nice. Right, so maybe that's even better because now
Yeah,
we save our pawn. Right.
yeah,
So
and then he would resign.
yeah, that's probably a much better move. So let's see here. Nice. Yes. All right. Good job. All right. Let's see this one. Let's go back. Few moves. Let's see here. Hmm. This bishop right here is very sad. Much better would probably been to try to develop the bishop along the c1 to h6 diagonal. Much better. Oh, just dropped the bishop. What's going on there? All right. So, okay, so here is black to move. So what's a good move for black here?
Doesn't black need to be careful?
Yeah, I don't know why he gave up this bishop for nothing. That was kind of weird. See, he just gave up that for nothing. Um, hmm. He must have something good.
I mean,
What do you?
if white takes the rook at e4,
Well, it's black's move now.
yeah, I'm just saying though. I
Hmm.
mean, white needs to be kind of careful.
Yeah. So this bishop has a nice diagonal. Queen's putting pressure on f2 as well. I mean,
Yeah.
this bishop is effectively shut out and doing nothing. But so yeah. So what do you think? Good move here.
Boy, if I were white,
Mm-hmm.
I'd be tempted to move my rook to f1.
Rook to f1. Oh, here. Okay. Um. Hmm.
I think white is really in a very
I mean, I think this bishop can be nullified pretty easily by knight comes back to d4. And now the bishop's blocked. Right. So. Hmm. So what do you think?
well. If white moves, uh, it's white to move, correct?
Yeah. White to move. Oh, sorry. No, black to move. Black to move. White's last move was knight takes b5.
Black to move.
Yeah. So black's best move.
I don't know why, but which is very dangerous, I know, but my instinct is bishop takes pawn at f2.
Okay, bishop takes, queen takes, and now what?
Yeah, that's the question.
Hmm.
Rook, I'm looking, I mean, I wouldn't execute it, it's incredibly high. Then rook takes rook, queen takes queen. No, that isn't.
I think this is one puzzle where it's just a straightforward move that just increases pressure.
There's got to be something on the F and E files, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is the first move bishop takes that pawn?
I don't think so. I think bishop takes,
Okay.
queen takes, and white is pretty well defended. So I think what we have to do is increase
Is it
pressure. So how do we increase pressure?
Well, the other thing I was thinking about was moving the rook at A8 to E8, but
Yeah,
that's a slowly developing move.
it is slowly developing, but I think that's the most important one right now because first of all, the rook's not doing anything, and
Yeah,
second of all, we want to try to invade along the second rank,
yeah.
attack the queen and attack the pawn, and eventually lead to checkmate like that. So yeah, I think rook a to e8 is a pretty strong move. So now, all right, so let's do some calculations. So rook a to e8. Okay, if he takes with our rook, how should we take back?
I think you take with the rook.
Yep, you take with the rook, and now he replaces the other rook, rook to e1, because he wants to trade down. So now black has a killer move in that position. I don't know if you see it. Want me to move the pieces?
Yeah, please.
Sure, sure. Let's see. Rook a to e8. Good. Okay, so all right, so he did that. So okay, so after we're finished, we'll examine what if he took here. But okay, so he brings the knight back to block the bishop. Very logical decision. So what's the best move here? What do you think?
When you show me this, I'll kick myself for not seeing it. But take, 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 take. Well, even if I put my queen on the E file, it's still going to just come out even.
Oh, if you put the queen like this, all right. So queen e5. Yeah, I guess he can just take. And now you are threatening. No, you're not threatening back rank mate. No, there's a much stronger. I think there's a stronger move than that. What do you think?
And that knight is protecting E2.
Yeah, knight's protecting e2. Also, it's blocking the bishop, which is very
Right.
important. So, what do you think? So, the first type of move, right? The most forceful move is what?
The check.
Check, right? So let's just look at checks first, right? So queen takes is out, right? You just lose your queen for no particular reason. Rook takes, rook takes, rook takes, queen takes. And now it's actually white that's threatening back rank mate on e8. So that's not really useful. So, all right, so no checks. So now we look at captures, right? So we already look at captures on the rook and the pawn. Probably not. Queen takes knight. So what's left?
Well, I've looked at bishop takes knight.
Yeah, so this knight is doing a really good job of protecting e2 and blocking the bishop. Now, the reason that e2 is important is because if you can invade on the second rank, again, you're double attacking the queen and threatening mate in 2, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we need to eliminate this knight. So I think the strongest move here is bishop takes
Okay.
d4, c takes d4, and then we invade on the second rank, double attack, queen and pawn. And there's nothing that that white can do about it except he must give away his queen, right?
Well, I
So
looked at that. I must have miscounted.
yeah. So let's see. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, nice. All right. And now we invade on the second rank. Very important.
Oh, so I can tell you what I did apparently
Sure. All right.
incorrectly. My
All right.
first take was take on the first rank.
Ah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so that just ends up to being equality, right?
Yeah.
So rook takes, take,
And then I
take,
came
take.
back on the second rank. And
Yeah,
then obviously the queen took. Okay.
yeah. So that's just equality. So yeah, much better and stronger is rook e2, right? Very powerful. And so the best white's best response probably would be this and sacrificing the queen. And so yeah, that should be a 1 game for black. So yeah, that's a very good puzzle. I like that one. That's a good one. Yeah, it was like a saving grace for black. All right, so let me take a screenshot of that one. I like that one. So do you understand that one? That's illustrating the importance of seizing the second rank from black's perspective, or the 7th rank in white's perspective, right? So very powerful maneuver, because yeah, once you have control of the 2nd or the 7th rank, a lot can be done. It's very useful rank to occupy. All right, so do you want to do one more, or you want to do
Yeah.
okay, let's do
Yeah.
one more. All right, let's see here. All right, let's go back a few moves. Let's see. Okay. All right. Ooh, fork. Oh, interesting. All right, let's see.
That's a really tough placement for that black knight.
Yeah. So he just captured our rook. So white to move. What is the best move for white here? Interesting.
I think the best move for white is knight to h6.
Okay, knight h6 check. King is forced to go to h8. And now what?
Then rook to g4.
Rook to g4. Okay, so now
Oh, I'm sorry. So it depends how they. Well, what's their move?
all right, so knight h6, king h8. If you go rook g4.
No, so where they're moving to.
Moving what?
Their king goes to h8, right?
Yep.
Then I'd move knight to f6.
You mean f5?
Yes.
F5. Yeah. Yeah, I think that is the winning move. Why?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, why is that the winning move?
Well, there's you have any number of ways to mate.
Well, immediately, we're threatening mate on g7 with the knight and the queen. At the same time, we're attacking the queen.
Yeah.
So it's basically a fork, right? So it's a very nice fork there. All right, so let's see. Knight h6 and knight f5. Excellent. Very good. Cool. That's another good one. I'm going to save that one.
Yeah. I thought I saw that one reasonably
That's cool.
fast.
And that shows you that a fork is not only between pieces, but a fork can also occur involving important squares, right? So this would be the threat of mate. So a very nice fork there.
I always think of fork as involving positions.
Involving positions?
Positions, yeah.
Yeah, could be, yeah. Yeah, many different types of forks, and knights are frequently the one to deliver forks because they're so, their movement is so unique. All right, so let's see some of your games. All right, so is anyone specific that you wanted to look at?
I should write that down. I lost one yesterday that I was ahead by like 8 with like 2 minutes to left, and
29 moves.
I don't remember which
All right,
one it
all right,
was.
let's try this one. 29 moves. This is the Maroksi King's Pawn game, Maroksi defense. All right, let's see here. All right, so you are white. D4. Okay, good. Yep, I would have done the same thing.
Yeah, I remember this game. There's no way on God's green earth I should have lost this.
Yep.
So
Sometimes it happens. Oh my goodness, he gave himself double isolated pawns on purpose. Why would he do that?
well,
All right. Maybe he's very confident. Maybe. Ooh. Okay, so he counterattacked there.
so wait.
Okay.
So in retrospect,
Uh-huh.
now I moved.
Yeah.
So he moved. Now he did the same thing to me.
Yeah.
I should have immediately checked him and taken. I don't know what I was doing here.
So you could have done it. Oh, so let's see. Okay, so let's see. You go check, king. All right, let's see. Check.
Well, yeah.
king here, and take the rook. So then he can do the same thing to you.
Yeah.
Check, take the
I don't know
rook.
what I was doing here. I mean, I felt like it was almost like some kind of weird setup. Do you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And here, what I should have done here is just move my bishop and checked him just to try and get back some momentum.
Or maybe here, because he's about ready to escape with his knight onto c2, right? So
Yeah,
maybe here how do we control c2 so he doesn't escape? What do you think?
with my king. Or I could
Uh
have also controlled it with my knight.
yeah, I think the knight is better because if you go with the king, now that opens you up to being attacked by the rook, right? So I think much
Yeah,
stronger.
I think that this was some weird preset kind of strategy.
Oh,
I
really?
mean, do you know what I mean?
Like what do you mean preset?
I almost feel like this was sometimes I've played guys and they've deliberately I mean, it looked like they were playing like making every bad move.
Hmm.
And then the next thing I know, I was mated.
Hmm. You mean like they were getting help?
No, no, it was some kind of I showed you one and you said it had happened to you as well.
Where what you were you winning and when what
And then like 2 moves later, you're mated.
the win
But the guy's down like a ton of pieces.
so the wind slips away from you. Maybe you're too confident. Maybe you know.
No, I don't know how to explain it, but
Okay. So
kind of
yeah, so knight a3 is a nice move, and now you're ready to go bishop g5 check,
yeah,
followed by recapturing the knight.
yeah.
You know,
Anyway,
and so yeah. All right, so let's go back. All right, so you went there, but that doesn't work because of bishop takes. Yeah. So, but it's kind of it looks like it's going to end up to be equality anyway.
no, but
I would say here, I would say here, if you're going to lose your knight, might as well try to ruin his pawn structure, right? So I would go just throw in knight g6. So he's forced to take. So now he's got two
now he's
sets
got
of
two double pawns.
no doubled isolated pawns, right? So very weak. So I would throw that in, just for good measure. All right.
But my
So
queen, my king is
yeah, your king is a little bit exposed. So yeah, so you can throw that in now, check, and then you do that. All right. Yeah. And then of course he does have this. It's pretty annoying. And probably you would want to protect it with like that. And yeah, and then you pick up this knight. All right, so let's go back. Oh, you let him escape. So how come you didn't go the other way? How come you didn't go this way?
yeah, I'm an idiot. I don't know why.
Okay. So yeah, so this knight is a goner. So you just got to make sure you control c2. Um and yeah, it's going to end up, basically to equality. He takes your knight, you take his knight, and his pawns are weak, so they should be able to be picked off fairly easily.
But I'm
Um
down. I'm down 2 pawns.
So here, let's see, you have 6, and he has. You're down 1 pawn here.
Down 1 pawn.
Yeah. So not that bad. Yeah. So king c1, I think would be the better move. So king e2. All right, knight c2. Yeah. Now this is rough because now he saves his knight, but your knight is still unfortunate. What is he doing? Why doesn't he just take your knight? What is he doing? Oh, you missed. You missed. They could have taken his pawn here.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. Ouch. Yeah. Okay. Now this is rough to come back from. Yeah. Oof. Ooh. Yeah. Things just fall apart there. All right. So I think let's see. So yeah, I would have taken that,
I should have
And
won this game.
I would okay, take. Okay, instead of knight g5, um what do you think is a better move? What do you think?
From here,
Yeah, instead of knight g5, what do you think?
castle.
Okay, castle's good. It's fine. Castling is fine. Also, another good move I think is c3. So preventing the knight from jumping here and threatening the fork, right? So I think c3 is a good move. And if he's smart, he would probably go h6, preventing your knight from jumping on g5. Mm, yeah. So yeah, could have been game is not necessarily lost. Check. Yeah, and here I think you just messed up with making sure this knight stays in the corner or just stays trapped. Yeah, that was just an oversight. Knight c2. Yeah, take. All right. Yeah, and then the rook invades, and that's tough to come back from. Yeah. All right. All right, so let's look at the other one. Let's see here. All right. This one. All right. Let me hold on. Let me let's do the computer analysis just because I'm curious what the computer also says. Do you sometimes do this, the computer analysis?
Yeah.
I find that like when I tell students how to do the computer analysis, they do it, but then I also I get reports from the students that even though the computer says, "Oh, this is a blunder, or this is a mistake, or an inaccuracy," and then it says the better move, but the student doesn't always understand why it's a blunder. So it's not clear. So that's sometimes that is the case. So all right, so let's see here. So you are black, yeah. All right. So just this is just a matter of a personal preference. Whenever this bishop ends up in this position, Sicilian, and I'm black, and they play bishop c4, my first move is always to play e6, because I don't want any problems with this bishop sacrificing itself on f7. So I see so many tricks with that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And people do that fairly regularly, actually.
yeah,
And then you have a really crappy game because you can't castle.
exactly. So yeah, I just kind of remove that option immediately. It's my personal thing. All right. So yeah, okay. Yeah, probably c3 would have been much better. I don't know why he had to give up a pawn. That wasn't necessary. Whoa, and he gave up his knight. Um Ooh, very nice. I like that. Excellent. Oh, that was a problem. Yeah, so you can see like for example in this game,
Well, if
um
I wouldn't have done that, I would have lost.
if you
He
if
has mate.
no, I mean it's not mate because your king can escape here,
Wow.
right? It's not mate, but this is a good example of how when the bishop is on c4 eyeing f7, tricks like this can occur.
Yeah.
So, this is why just, I would
But that's
suggest.
why I didn't. I would have liked to. I would have. I mean, I would have gotten the bishop and the rook.
Wait, hold on. I can't hear you. You went out. Your sound.
Sorry.
Uh,
I mean, I had set that up
uh-huh.
hoping to be able to cash the bishop and the rook.
Oh, over here.
But then I
Yeah.
saw that and I thought I can't do it because I'm going to get mated.
Right, right. So it's not mate. So let's see. So you take and then take check. So it's not mate. It's not really mate, but your king is not really
Well,
happy
then his
either.
next move is going to be bishop check.
Which one? Here or here?
Well, either.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know if he goes.
it's not too pleasant for you, although you eventually will be taking this rook and you'll be up significant material, which is nice. If you can survive all this and your king can, you develop your rook and your king goes into safety over here, then you're just going to be winning. You know, so if you went instead, if you went bishop b5, again you go to c7, and then I don't know, maybe if he wants to continue attacking, he can go up here, queen c4 check. Now you find safe haven there. Now look how safe your king is, right? You took his bishop, you're about to take his rook, and you're going to be a rook. Oh, hey, Michael.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, did you just accidentally, did it kick you off somehow?
Yeah, I got kicked off.
Okay, okay. All right. So yeah, so here with your king on b8, you're pretty safe, you know, and after you take this rook, if you can eventually bring your bishop all the way back and save it, then you will be ahead an extra bishop and a rook. So, yeah, the win should be secured. Um so yeah, that'd be pretty amazing, right? So yeah, I think you were unnecessarily scared of this. I think it looked more dangerous than it really is. So for example, you see you see what the computer's giving you, right? 8.7, you're like almost 9 pawns ahead in terms of advantage. And it's like this entire bar is almost dark, which means you have a lot significant advantage right here. So obviously the computer's not scared of queen takes f7 either.
Okay.
All right. So yeah. So the problem is you thought it was mate, right? That was the thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. All right. So oh, he missed it. He could have taken your bishop and won your rook.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right. All right. Okay. Good. All right. So let's see. Material is equal. Okay. Hmm. So what is it giving? What's the best move? I mean, I like taking this pawn. I wonder if that's a good move. All right. Well, so anyway. All right. Okay. Whoa, gives you double question mark. So it likes bishop d7 is better. Um all right, bishop d7, or maybe just b6, develop the bishop onto b7 along diagonal, or maybe b6 and then a5, and then you can bring the bishop on a6 and attack the queen and rook that way. All right, so okay, f6. All right, take. Uh-huh. So c takes was a blunder. So why was that a blunder? So it wants queen d2. All right. All right, so basically just add more pressure to the pawn, right? Okay. All right. Why'd you do that? Why'd you not take the pawn?
Because of the knight.
So take now what is he gonna do? What is white gonna do?
Well, if he takes with the knight, I would have taken this queen, I guess.
Yeah.
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 I
Queen
don't
is
know. I
unprotected.
missed it, I guess.
Yeah. Queen is unprotected. Yeah. So the knight is not a threat. You're actually threatening d4 here, and the knight is pinned right to the unprotected queen. And yeah, after d4, even if he goes queen queen c5 check, you have bishop bishop e6 blocking and attacking simultaneously, and so you're attacking the knight and you're attacking his queen. So much stronger position here. Yeah, so this is kind of a isolated queen pawn, but still, if it starts rolling, then it can be pretty dangerous, right? So okay, so let's see, queen rook e8, he pushes. Yeah, that was a good move. Yeah, so he's threatening here, forking rook and bishop. All right. Okay. So yeah, so the computer doesn't like because this knight is pinned and immobile, so it wants to release the pin and threaten queen f7 check, winning the bishop. Right. So all right. Okay. Hmm.
I thought that was a good move, taking with my bishop.
Um. Let's see. What is it? Yeah, once you take with the rook. Yeah. Yeah, rook's probably better. Yeah, because the rook is just not doing anything there, and just kind of you're blocking your own rook now. So yeah, probably better to take him with the rook. Take and if he takes, then you just bring the bishop back on the long diagonal, very strong, and then you bring maybe the other rook onto f8 or d8, and that's pretty good position. So let's see here. Oh, stepped into a fork. Oh my goodness.
Well, the royal fork.
Yeah.
That's was the end of the game.
Yeah. Ouch. Ouch. So did you utter any profanities when that happened?
No, thought him though.
I would have. Probably. Oh man, that hurts. That hurts. Yeah, you're doing good with this pawn here. you know. All right, so let's go back. Let's see here.
I should have. I was ahead a lot of this game
Let's see.
on material.
So yeah, again, immediately, right? Just remove any of these tricks right here. E3, E6 just nullifies that, and the game continues fine. Yeah, that's definitely a mistake. If you're going to fianchetto your bishop and then your opponent fianchettos the bishop on the same diagonal on the next move, intending to, that's definitely a mistake. I would not do that. So yeah. Okay, so he gave up the pawn and then he gave up the knight. Yeah, I mean personally I would take with the bishop to threaten the rook immediately. I think that's a little bit nicer. But the knight is also pretty cool because now you're threatening a discovery check either way and then winning the rook, right? So that can be yeah, I guess taking with the knight can be a little trickier because because white is not expecting, or he's not thinking about an attack yet, but you do a nice discovery there, and then you get scared of queen takes f7. Oh man, oh man. Yeah, that must have been hard to not take this bishop, right? It's like, there's a free bishop.
I thought the game was over. If
Yeah.
I would have taken, I thought the game was over.
Oh man. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, quick glance, you see your king as an escape square, and he only has a queen and a bishop developed, then it's unlikely that there's going to be a checkmate, right? That's just too few pieces. So, just get your king to safety on the queen side, and all is well. So, yeah. I don't think that's necessary. I think maybe just castling, and then maybe try to develop these pawns, get the bishop on the long diagonal, that kind of thing. All right. Okay, so castle. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So here's another example of keeping the unprotected pieces in mind of your opponent's position, right? So yeah, e takes d5, definitely much stronger. Yeah, I mean, double question mark is a bit extreme. I wouldn't say, because double question mark usually is like for a blunder where you lose material. You know, you're not really losing material here. You just took, I think you just took with the wrong piece. You know, that would have been slightly better. Yeah. Yeah. Ouch. Ouch. All right. So we'll do one more. Let's do another one.
Yeah, can we do a game? I really would like to do some more work around the King's Gambit because I think once I get it,
Uh-huh.
I like it. I just don't know how to. I think I have it, and
Mm-hmm.
then clearly I do not.
You mean you want to play a game with me?
Well, no, I don't think that would have a lot of utility. I think
Oh.
I need to I feel like I understand it, the execution of it, but I
Well,
don't.
how about let's do this. Let's do this. How about let me
Yeah, maybe why don't we set up a board and I'll show you how I play it, and
Yeah,
maybe then
exactly. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
So okay, so you're white. All
yeah,
right, so I assume you're gonna go e4, right?
right.
So all right, so I rarely, like, if somebody plays e4, I always play c5. But let's play along. So I'll go e5. So you go f4, right?
Right.
And then e takes.
And
And
then
then what's your next
I
move?
move the knight.
So develop this knight.
Yes.
Okay. All
I
right.
know that's not the way Fisher did it, but I'm far from Bobby Fischer.
Okay. All right. So let me see what I do here. Let's see here. Probably would want to develop like that. All right. Attacking the pawn. Okay, go ahead. What would you do?
Um, I probably, which would probably be a mistake, I'd probably lose that pawn.
So what move would you play?
I'd probably move the D pawn,
To where?
fourth rank.
So twice. Okay. All right. Let me see here. So why would you sacrifice the pawn?
To set up the board, I guess. Set up my attack.
Okay. I don't think it's necessary. I think here, probably
It,
best would be to, because remember, when you do a gambit, like the king's or the queen's gambit, the idea is that you're luring one of the center pawns away, right? So it's true that d4 does establish a strong center, but then with knight takes e4, now you have less control of the center, right? So here, I think a much stronger move to maintain control of the center would be to push, right? So now you're forcing me to move my knight again, right? Which is kind of what I anticipate white to do in this position. So yeah, you want to take
I'm
advantage.
sorry. When you flip the board like that, it's hard for me to follow.
Oh, sorry. I'm just looking at
I
it from my perspective.
apologize. I'm sure it's my own limitation.
Yeah. So I think e5 would be the strongest move, because you're gaining space. At the same time you're attacking, right? So you're gaining space with tempo. So here, probably my best move would probably be knight d4, knight d5,
Okay,
and
then
now,
I would develop my white bishop.
oh, here, okay.
Or I
So
could develop my D pawn, either
yeah, so
one.
here I think much stronger would be, yeah, develop here, and now you have a nice center, right? Beautiful. You're ready to even go c4, kick away the knight, and then take the pawn, and then that's really beautiful, right? You got a very nice, very strong center. So, and yeah, so
Yeah, but I
d4.
need to attack your F pawn.
Oh, so you want to attack the f pawn? Okay, so that's the
Well,
goal. That's your goal, right?
I think so, isn't it?
Okay. So, all right. So you want to do that instead of d4?
Well, No, I think no, I think the next pawn, my next move should be D4.
Okay, d4. Okay, so if you
Yeah.
went d4, I would probably want to do maybe d6.
Okay, then I'd move knight to well, I think I have a couple of choices here.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I could move my H pawn to H4,
h4. Why h4?
prevent your beginning to advance these pawns.
Oh,
I
so
could,
in case I'm going to do g5.
yeah.
Um. All right.
I'm just kind of running it down. I
Okay.
could advance my knight to G5.
Well, not now because you just lose it, right?
Oh, yeah. Or I could see, that'd be another reason why I would advance my pawn to
To protect the knight,
H,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Or I could take, well, if I can't take, I can't take your pawn at F4.
No, not yet. Yeah, the knight's
So
protecting.
I think I could advance my white knight, my white bishop to C4 and anticipate, which would attack your
Mm-hmm.
knight and also allow me to castle,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and which would further allow me to attack that pawn and also begin to put real pressure on this F file.
Yeah. Okay. So in this case, I would not want to retreat because I do not want to expose the f7 pawn. So I would probably defend like that, c6.
Okay, well, let's not tell each other what we're going to do. Let's just play.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
I'm telling you, my reasoning so that, you can have an idea of how you can
Yeah.
respond. So, yeah.
All right. Well, I'm just curious. So this is a good example, and now I'll show you why I lose.
Okay.
So now I'd like to move my H pawn to H4.
Okay. H4. All right.
Your
So,
move.
all right. So let's see here. Um,
You can resign at any time.
I'll keep that in mind. So now the problem with H4 is that now you don't have control over G4. So now bishop G4 can be kind of annoying, right? And now the knight is pinned. And and since my knight is here, you can't really do any tricks of sacrificing on F7 and then discovering an attack
Okay.
on my
That's your
unprotected
move.
bishop, right?
All right. White bishop takes knight.
Bishop takes knight. Okay. And now what?
Your move. Oh,
No, your move.
castle.
Castle. All right. So, all right. Let's see. Maybe here.
Queen to um D3.
Okay. Queen D3. So take here.
Okay. Uh Rook to E1.
Rook to E1. Wow. So now you allow this.
Ah,
All right. I mean,
okay.
it's not totally losing yet because the pawn is pinned. So you could retreat.
No, that's okay. I'll live with it.
Oh, you want to do it?
You,
You want to live? Okay. Go ahead. Oh, sorry. Where are we? All right, so
So
go.
that's the kind of mistake I make that loses this game for me. So what I would do in a real game,
Mm-hmm.
I would take rook.
Take the pawn.
Yep,
Okay, take the pawn. Check. Check. I assume, right?
yep.
Okay. Let's see here. Probably queen here.
Knights. No. Yeah, knight to e5.
Knight to e5. Oh,
Well, you'll
interesting.
take that, right?
Let's see here.
You're gonna end
Yeah,
up losing this.
I think I'd like to
And
take
then
that.
take with a pawn.
Take with the pawn. And then probably let's see here. Hmm, Probably I want a castle. Yeah.
Okay, rook takes pawn. I mean, bishop takes pawn.
Bishop takes.
That's yeah. You'll come down to D, right?
Yeah. So now you're
Yeah,
allowing me
now I'm
access.
screwed. Yeah,
Yeah,
now I'm
and this pawn is also hanging with check.
yeah.
If you go
No,
f2 or h2,
I okay.
you want
But
to go back?
that actually is a good example of the kind of trouble I get into.
Mm. So let's see. I want to look at this game a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Do we have time? I don't know what time.
yeah. Oh, it's 5 o'clock actually. All right, we'll do quick. We'll do quick.
Okay.
All right. So let's see here. All right. So computer likes knight h5. Oh, I think knight h5 because the computer is very greedy and wants to hold on to the pawn. But I mean, the same can be done with knight d5. Knight c3. Okay, d6. All right. So computer likes your move. Bishop c4. Take. Okay. All right. So the computer likes me to take here. Open up my queen. All right. So here it gives me advantage, slight advantage, right? 0.8 point, like pawn. All right. So now my advantage is okay. Take. My advantage is growing now. Yeah. So I want you to take the pawn now would probably be a nice idea as well. Develop the bishop and the center is pretty strong for you. So okay, that's probably a good idea. I think you waited too long. You waited too long to take the f4 bishop, f4 pawn. Yeah, here again would have been probably a good reason, a good time to take the pawn, and solidify control over e5, right? So yeah, so allowing this pawn advance, I think, was not good, right? You don't
Yeah,
want to allow
no,
that.
to
So
say the least.
yeah, so either taking with a pawn or with a knight. Maybe maybe it doesn't really matter. Takes. All right, and then this pawn's gonna fall. Actually, ooh. Actually, this is dangerous. Oh my god, this is very dangerous. Look at my advantage. 0.83, 8.3. I'm like 8 pawns advantage. You're gonna lose a lot of material. So why does it give me so much advantage? Do you see the combination? Starting off with bishop c4.
Um, if you check me at I only have one move, and that's H1, right?
No, you could block with the rook,
Well, then I lose a rook.
which would probably be a better decision actually. because if you don't block with the rook, if you go king h1 or king h2, what follows?
Oh, queen takes pawn.
Queen takes h4, and your only defense is block with the queen, and you lose your queen. Right.
Right.
So yeah, I gotta be careful with that, definitely. So yeah, take. So I guess, that's a tough one. That's interesting. Yeah, because this diagonal for you is very sensitive because since you push the h pawn, now you're allowing me the queen to come in on h4 once the knight is gone and invade that way. Right. So you got to be careful with that kind of thing. And then here, yeah, and then the computer just gives me crazy advantage here. Yeah, it's increasing. Okay. Oh my god, 12 pawns. Okay. 9. Oh, now it gives me a mate in 7. so so yeah. Um so that was a good game. Yeah, so I'd say with this game, the one thing that you waited too long was to recover your pawn. Right? You could have recovered your pawn like once my knight is gone. So here the computer wanted you to get rid of my knight immediately instead of h4. Right? And then, yeah, once you develop your bishop to f4, take the pawn, you get a decent game. The knight's on f3, preventing h4. So basically, I think h4 is not necessary. I think h4 is pretty weakening, especially if you choose to castle kingside, right? Because you're giving up g4 or g3, and you're giving up g4 control when
But
you
I
push
thought on
h4.
the King's Gambit, it doesn't work if I don't attack that F pawn.
If you don't attack, oh, f7, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is one strategy, yeah. Um
Well, maybe we can work on it next week.
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So,
okay.
yeah. Yeah, good game though. Very good game.
Okay.
I enjoyed that. All right. So, yeah, so we'll see you next week
Okay.
and hope you have a wonderful night.
You too.
Take care.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.